Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Annual Instructor Conference, fondly called AIC, Recognition Ceremony and Closing Dinner. We are overjoyed to welcome our 47 graduates. We welcome their family members who are here present and supporting them from throughout North America on social media. And we welcome all of this year's AIC participants who have worked so hard, have studied so hard. This week is never easy, is it? You are asked to step out of your comfort zones, to test your intellectual abilities, and to maximize your cerebral endurance. You are asked at times to make yourselves vulnerable and open yourself up to constructive feedback that is sometimes difficult to hear. But you come back every year. Each and every year. You come back knowing what the schedule is going to be like, accepting the challenges, and humbling yourselves for one reason: to become the best version of yourselves in service to the LIUNA brothers and sisters that depend on you to make an important difference in their lives. Whether it be skills training or safety training, life skills training, mentoring, helping to ease language barriers, just to name a few of the ways you make a difference, and your commitment here at the AIC speaks volumes to the commitment and dedication you exhibit each and every day in your vital role as LIUNA instructors. You deserve a round of applause. We have some very special guests with us from throughout the LIUNA Training Network, training fund leaders and personnel who have traveled to come and support their instructor graduates tonight, and I would like to recognize them at this time. As I call your name, please stand and wave to everybody in the room and on social media. From the Construction Laborers and Contractors Training Fund of Eastern Missouri, Training Director Joe Weinhardt. Contractors, Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Fund of Nebraska, Matt Parks. From the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and Vicinity, Education, Training and Apprenticeship Fund, Executive Director Angel Hernandez. From the Laborers Training and Retraining Trust Fund of Southern California, Chief of Staff Lisa Becerra and Jennifer Graber, Human Resource Manager. From Laborers Local 1089 Training Fund from Ontario, Canada, Chad Hogan. From LIUNA Local 731 Training Fund in New York, Tim McGuire. From LIUNA Training of Michigan, Director Darrell Gallant, and soon to be the new training director from LIUNA Training Fund of Michigan, Jeff Wiley Smurs. From Local 172, Safety Education and Training Fund of New Jersey, George Samuelson. The Training Director of Local 1010 Skills Improvement Apprenticeship and Training Fund of New York, Armando Valeriano. Training Director from the Mason Tenders Training Center, Tim Warrington. New England Laborers Training Trust Fund Training Director, Tim Tracy. From the Northwest Laborers Employers Training Trust Fund, Executive Director Brandon Jordan and Training Director Mark Ware. From the Ohio Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Trust Fund, Executive Director Matt Flynn and Training Director Neil Prouty. From the Safety Education and Training Fund, Local 472 of New Jersey, Joe Skirbo III. And we are also very pleased to have with us the retired Training Director from 472 SET, Joe Skirbo Jr. From the Southeast Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Fund, Executive Director April Thomas. From the Pennsylvania Laborers Education and Training Trust Fund, Administrator Mark Ferrari and Training Director Eric Remetta. And the Business Manager and Secretary Treasurer of Local 66 in Melville, New York, Vinny Alou. Great things always seem to happen in Chicago. The Pope is from Chicago. What better accolade could they have now? Several times a year, we host training events and programs in the Chicagoland area, and we're always welcomed here and supported by incredible individuals that make up the LIUNA Great Lakes region and the Chicagoland Laborers District Council. Joining us as our very special guests this evening are Chicagoland Laborers District Council Training and Apprenticeship Fund Executive Director Keith Vitale and Training Director Marcus Roberts. Director of Apprenticeship, John Rotondo. Members of their Board of Trustees, Secretary Treasurer of the Chicagoland Laborers District Council and Business Manager of Local 1092, Joe Healy. Assistant Business Manager and Grievance Director of the Chicagoland Laborers District Council, Marty Flanagan. Business Manager of Local 582, Mike Bivens. And the Chairman of the Training Trust Fund and Business Manager of Chicagoland Laborers District Council, Jimmy Conley. Also joining us this evening is LIUNA Vice President, Great Lakes Regional Manager, and Special Assistant to the General President, Terry Healy. And also a member of their board, but also the LIUNA Training and Education Trust Fund Management Co-Chair, Joe Coppers. Our first speaker tonight is the heart and soul of LIUNA in the Great Lakes region. LIUNA is blessed with incredible leaders all around North America. But this individual is one of the hardest working labor leaders in this nation. a tireless advocate for working men and women and their families, and someone whose wisdom, whose dedication, and whose persistence impacts everyone in this room. Please welcome LIUNA Vice President and Great Lakes Regional Manager, Terry Healing.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah. Appreciate everybody coming to Chicago. Let's hear it for Larry. What a great job he does. Come on. Larry does a great job. Yeah. Listen, I also want to hear it for John LeConge. John is leader of this thing, and he does a great job for us. And Bernadette certainly is right there to help, always has the answers for everybody at any time that they need or will get an answer for you. So let's hear it for Bernadette. Yeah. Larry, I know that you thank the trustees from Chicago and that, but I want to also thank them for always being there and always being helpful. And Joe Coppers, here's a management trustee who feels this is so important that he comes here every year to make sure that it's all done right and to see what we do here. So he believes in us. He's on the National Training Fund also. So let's again hear it for Joe Coppers. And I do want to thank Jimmy and Joe and also Keith Vitale. He was telling me, make sure you say my name right. So, no, he does a great job at that training center. He is definitely very particular about what happens at that training center, and that's why we feel we have a great training center. You know what? We have 6 trainees tonight that are up here in these rows, and we appreciate that. But we appreciate all of you here. Today, I spoke with the General President and with the General Secretary Treasurer. And I have to tell you, both of them wanted to make sure that I congratulated everybody up here and thanked them for everything that they do. But on a personal note, I have to say this. You know what? The General President has given us orders to go and get 1 million members. Now, some might say, oh, that's ridiculous. We only have 530,000. How could we double it? We don't plan on doubling it in 6 months. But we have to keep moving towards that goal. We have to put goals. We have to set goals for ourselves. And we do anticipate and plan on moving it up slowly but surely. Well, maybe more than slowly. Keep moving it up for sure. And the only way we do that is by organizing and by training. I've yet to ever be at a training meeting that I don't see something or learn something new. I have to tell you, I'm part of teams that negotiate national agreements. I've yet to ever be in a negotiation where a contractor doesn't say, hey, I need to know what the training is and how good it is and what we can do to make it better. So you are extremely important to us. We just had an organizers meeting down in Texas, Austin, Texas. And I have to admit, when I first heard Austin, Texas, I thought, man, they're going to be kicking us out of the room and they're going to tell us get off the job. I was amazed as to how they looked at us and how important they felt we were. And one thing, because I had the honor of being able to go into a couple contractors, every one of the contractors said, hey, if you can bring me trained personnel, I'd be willing to sign. Okay, and David Fry took that into consideration. We're looking at it, see what we can do for training. But that's how important training is. And that's how important every one of you are. And for you to go through this week and be as attentive and do the work that you've done this week, it's really important. I mean, you have really stepped up. To graduate, this is not a small task. So we really appreciate the job that you do. And let me tell you, you are our future. You are definitely our future. You are the ones that are going to see a new member when he's brand new. What you do is what he's going to remember, because you're the first face he may have seen. Yes, the agent may have gone out and signed him up, collected the money, but you're the first one he's really going to talk to and learn from. So how you treat him or her is extremely important. They will remember that for their entire life in the laborers. And we want to make sure that they have a good memory. And that's why you have graduated, because we feel that you will bring that to them. You will teach them. You know what? We have people that will be out on a job site that may not be able to read, may not be able to write. They're going to be scared to death to come into your training center. Once you go to them and make them comfortable, they will feel like they're part of the family. So believe me, what you do is extremely important. And Larry, you know, you talk about being out of your comfort zone. Well, I have to tell you, this general president, he's putting all of us out of our comfort zone. When it comes to the IT stuff, I have to tell you, it's way above my head. Put me on a job site, put me in the middle of I'll say a discussion, I'm fine. Put me on an IT, and I have problems. But because of this general president, I've realized that I have to step out of the box. I have to get out of my comfort zone, and I have to learn new things. I now am learning a lot more about the IT stuff and what we have to do and how we're getting members there. You're going to be asked to use broad stripes. You're going to be asked to have those members speak and say, why'd you join the laborers? What does it mean to you to be a laborer? Even if it's a journeyman who's coming in, talk to him. See what he says, he or she. See what they say as to what the difference in their life that the laborers have made. And you're going to find out that an awful lot of the difference is because of what you do at your training centers. And how important it is, look at all the training directors that are in this room and how many people that are in this room. Plus how many more are watching us live. That's because of you and how important everybody feels the job you do. So let's give them all a round of applause. So please make sure that no matter what your age, make sure that you are into IT, broad stripes. Let's get those members out there. Let's communicate with those members. The one thing I've learned, and I just happened to come in here a little bit later than usual because I was at a local union swearing them in after they just won their election. And they won very big. And I'll tell you why they won. Because they go out onto job sites and they talk to the members. If a local union goes on a job site, answers the questions that they can, and talks to the members, they won't lose. The same way that we need for you to send messages to our members and to talk to them and make them feel comfortable. So I want to just personally thank John and his entire staff. Let's have his staff stand up for one quick second here. You know, they do a terrific job. They've been doing this, I think, for like 35 years. 35 years for this program. And John has put this together and worked at it with his staff extremely hard to make sure that he makes the changes as they are necessary as we go along. So thank you, John, for everything that you do with it. And I thank all of you for what you are going to do in the future. So thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Terry. Have you ever stopped and thought about the amount of time that you spend with your coworkers? The norm is 2,040 hours a year out of 8,760 hours in a year. We've calculated that given our travel schedules and our extended work schedules in the office and at night and on weekends from home, that we spend about 68% of our waking hours with our co-workers at LIUNA Training. Now, this could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. But for me, it's certainly a good thing. When you can work with such a talented and thoughtful, tenacious, and committed person like our executive director of LIUNA Training, Bernadette Rivera. Bernadette, why don't you come up and speak to us?
Good evening, everyone. It is such a joy to be here to celebrate with all of you, and an even greater joy to be able to do it alongside Larry, who is so important to me. You all know that every year he gets up here and he gives the most beautiful and thoughtful introductions of everyone else. But we all know that if it wasn't for him and the work that he puts in, that not only this event, but the AIC would not happen. We see him working tirelessly behind the scenes, quietly making sure that every single detail is attended to. But I want you all to know that he is not just this financial and operational mastermind. Behind that cool, calm exterior, always, in his moment, he hides a great sense of humor and a huge heart. And he cares so much, not just about the people that he works with, but about the work that we do and about all of you. And I just can't imagine not having him to lean on. So for everything that you do, Larry, not only here at the AIC, but every day, I'd like to ask for a round of applause. And events like this, they don't happen without the help and support of great leadership, like that of our management co-chair, Joe Coppers, but also without the partnership of others. And we are so fortunate to count on the support of the Great Lakes region and our Chicagoland Training Fund. And I'd like to take a moment to thank you for your contribution to the success of the AIC. Thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to acknowledge and thank my executive director, a man who I love and admire deeply, not just because of the way he leads by example every single day, showing up with integrity, creativity, and heart, but because he leads with strategy and deep humanity, and he guides us, challenging us to be the best that we can be, to aim higher every day, and reminding us of the importance of the work that we do, not just for all of you, but for our training network and our union as a whole. Working with him is not just an amazing personal gift for me, but it's also a professional one, because he's the driving force behind not just the AIC, but everything that we do at LIUNA Training. He really is the heartbeat that started it all, but it's also the heartbeat that keeps us going. And so for his leadership, for his passion, and for his unwavering support, I'd like to ask for a round of applause. To all of you here, family, friends, facilitators, instructors, and of course, our graduating class of 2025, it is a pleasure to be here and recognize this incredible milestone. You know, as I stand up here every year that we have a graduating class, and I look out at all of you, and I'm reminded of your first day here at AIC, lesson planning, how nervous some of you were, some of you arrived late, and you know, all of those emotions that you can really only relate to if you've gone through that baseline assessment and the lesson planning process. Imagine just showing up one day, somebody handing you a computer and telling you, okay, we want you to write a lesson plan, when you have zero experience teaching, maybe you don't even know how to operate the computer, and maybe only a couple of weeks ago you were working out on a job site as a laborer. That's enough to make anybody overwhelmed and run for the hills. But you guys did it, and you went on to have a great week. And it's that joyful chaos of lesson planning on day one at AIC that I look forward to the most. And I know that may sound strange, because beginnings are really uncomfortable and messy, and they can certainly be unpredictable. But beginnings are always full of promise. And this year, I was able to be a part of the beginning for 29 new incredible instructors who worked this week so hard. And I was able to see them go from those tentative first steps to now at the end of the week being so confident, because they learned that teaching is not just about the lesson plans, and it's not just about writing digpas and reflecting, but teaching is about creativity and chaos, but most importantly, it's about connection. And they're now ready to go on and take on any classroom. So I'd like to thank our 29 new instructors and give them a big round of applause. And you know what? While our year one instructors were out there building their confidence, getting their footing, our year two instructors were hard at work trying to figure out how to effectively plan and deliver hands-on training to keep all of our members and apprentices safe and productive on the job. Through collaborative teaching, reflective practice, they were able to achieve another step in their professional growth. And I know that for some of those year two instructors, completing this course this year is probably the last step towards your opportunity to sit for the certification exam. And for others, you have things that you are still going to be working on before you do that. But it doesn't matter where you are on that path, because you are leaving here more confident, more capable, and more resilient than ever, and we so appreciate your hard work. I want you to know I still cannot tie any of those knots you were learning about, but we appreciate your hard work, and thank you for this week. I'd like a round of applause for the year two instructors. And where are our continuing ed contingent at? Can you make some noise? Woo! I want you all to know that working with our continuing ed instructors is always an adventure. They have been through it all, seen it all, and they have big emotions, a million questions, and tons of opinions, and they are never shy about letting you know about those things. But it doesn't matter, because it's through those exchanges, both the challenging ones and the funny ones, that we've been able to consistently improve what we do here at the AIC and make it the most remarkable professional development program in all of industry. This week, our continuing ed instructors, some of them helped us pilot a second year of one of our 5 specialty area tracks. Others were piloting a brand new course that we introduced called Lifelong Learning, and others still were starting on their first year of their 3-year professional development track. But I want you to know that despite all of the work and accomplishments that they had to get done throughout this week, they all showed their leadership by helping one another, by showing grace to our facilitators when things didn't go exactly as planned, by laughing when the technology didn't work the way it was supposed to, but most importantly, by reminding us that what we do touches much more than just each individual classroom, because we're all part of a bigger community. And so for our continuing ed instructors, thank you, and a big round of applause. And now to our evening's special guests, our graduating class of 2025. I cannot tell you how proud of you all we are. You know, it took a lot to get here, all of your hard work, all those long evenings of lesson planning, of study halls, all of those activities, and it has been such a privilege to be a part of your journey. But all of that hard work has got you here to this moment, and now you are LIUNA Training Certified Instructors who are going to be walking this stage to get your credential. But I want you to know that it's not the fact that you are getting that certificate tonight that is so significant. What is so significant about tonight is that when you walk this stage, you are officially joining an elite community of highly skilled professionals that elevate the standards of what it means to be a trade instructor each and every day. And so, it's true. And so I'd like you to think about your role as instructors as you leave here and you're ready to step into your own classroom as leaders, that what you do is so critical. Because in a world and in classrooms where difference and diversity are ever present, you're not just building skills. You are building members that have tolerance and empathy. You're building minds, and you're building hearts, and you're building the future of our union. And so I'd like you to think about that, because without your contributions, we will never be able to successfully get to those extra 1,000 members or 100,000 members that we are looking to bring on board. I'd like to share a quote with you that really resonated with me, and I hope it will be helpful, that you will take it to heart. And it is by Helen Keller, and she said, "The greatest outcome of education is tolerance." I am so excited to see what each of you is going to do, because I know that your contributions to our union is going to be something so incredibly positive. And I want to congratulate you all on all the hard work you've done to bring you to this moment, and let you know that we are here to support you in your journey. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Bernadette. Our next speaker, in all honesty, doesn't need an introduction. You all know him. You all know him very well. For the past 46 years, he has committed himself and everything he does to making laborers' training great. He has dedicated himself and all of his abilities to making the LIUNA Training Network and every person that works in it a powerhouse of innovation and creativity, to fulfill a mission I swear he took some sacred oath to, like no one else has, to improve the lives of LIUNA members and increase the competitive position of its signatory contractors. He fights to fulfill it every day, with every trip, every meeting, every call at every conference. He does it in everything that he says, in everything that he writes, in every word that he speaks, and always with everyone in this room on his mind, and every LIUNA member working at the call. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming to the stage LIUNA Training Executive Director, John LeConch.
You'll have your shot. Of course, the over 2,000 people at home won't get it, but I've been waiting all week to say one word to everybody here at the AIC. Print. Thanks, Larry. Just think about this. I mean, you have to. We have union leaders, contractors, our training network, our directors, apprenticeship coordinators, their staffs. We have the family of these graduating instructors with us tonight. And we have thousands at home who can't make it, who are on our social media now, imagine that, and who knew about this ceremony. And I want to say, whether you're a laborer working at the calling, whether you're a union contractor, a local or regional LIUNA leader, a staff person of LIUNA's departments or fund, a family member, I want you to know one thing about this week, not just about the graduates, but about this week. It's as much about each of those individuals as it is about every instructor who goes through the certification process. And I want to tell you a little bit about why that is. Now, first, to those newly certified instructors who will be crossing the stage tonight, each of you joined the ranks of the 52. Oh, God almighty. The one, you dead birds. You join the ranks of the 102. And the thousands of certified instructors, both past and present. And to the new 29. That's not bad. That's not bad. Your path was placed before you this week, and tonight you get that glimpse of what your future is going to be like. Now, I have to take a moment, as I always do, to thank a lot of people who made tonight happen. And one of the best things, and there's many of them, that Terry Healy has blessed us with through his leadership and the use of his staff, Jimmy, District Council, allowing us to use your organizers, Keith, your training fund, and your training fund staff. They got us this hotel. The Hyatt Hotel here in Rosemont is a union hotel, and we have been served, and our rooms have been cleaned. The food that we make, the sound coming through these microphones are all represented by 5 different unions. And so I think it's important for us, as we always do, to recognize this hotel and the staff, the union staff that has taken care of us all week. Again, Terry, Jimmy, thank you, always and always. You know, I want you to know, and I think I already told Keith this the other night at dinner, that because of his staff, we set a record in setting up this conference for close to 300 individuals in record time. And that can't be done without your graciousness as our host. And when a lot of people say, hey, let's move this to somewhere else, that somewhere else doesn't have a staff that helps us like Chicago, District Council, the region, the organizers, the training fund. So another round of applause, please, for them. during that lesson planning session that many of you have gone through, that trepidation, that nervousness. And if you think about it, what is the one thing that I have said for God almost 35 years? I said, let's have a talk tonight at this graduation. Let's have a talk tonight. Because I know that the person that you were sitting in that lesson planning room is not the person you are tonight. And think about that. Think about that journey, how short that is. It seems long when you first sit down in that lesson planning, but at the time we're here to celebrate those walking the stage, your lives are changed for one reason. The facilitators that we have at this event, facilitators who are the best educators in the world. And not only that, but educators who have the heart and understanding of what it means for our laborers to be out there in the field working. They understand your jobs and what it means to be an instructor. And they revel in that relationship that they have gained with each and every one of you. And so I think it is only fitting that one of the most important cogs in this meeting are those facilitators who bring you from that lesson plan to the end of year one and ready on your way to certification. I would like the facilitators to please stand and receive the love that you give us. Jimmy, Joe, I don't know if they asked for representation. Can we talk? Because it looks like I'm in trouble here. Thank you. So on Sunday morning, like always, I get a little personal when I talk to all of you. And these last 3 to 4 years have not been easy for me for a lot of reasons. But I told you in my little drop-down menu that one of the reasons why I hope, gotten back to the path of the person that I've been for all these years is because of my staff. My existing staff, my brand new staff, and everybody in between. I could not ask more of a staff that dedicates themselves to one goal: you. Everyone here is on their mind every day. And I could not be more happy to recognize LIUNA training staff. So once again, please stand and take some applause because it's well earned. Now, I know to be blessed means a lot of things to a lot of people. But I am blessed because I get to work with two friends, people I trust, people who care about each other, and people who have my back. Now, I know many would think that would be enough, should be enough to have that. But both these friends, I think, live a double life. You might say they're like superheroes. They are smart, they are strategic, hardworking, and again, they care about each of you, and they care about every member of this union. I want you to know what many of you may already know, that Larry Baldino across 2 countries, in every financial, grant, legal, protocol circle in which training operates, Larry is a respected leader. And I want you to know, Bernadette, Rivera, across 2 countries, in every training and educational, organizing, certification, and political circle in which LIUNA Training operates, Bernadette is a respected leader. And as much as they are my trusted advisors, they are my friends. And I ask all of you to give a special round of applause to Bernadette and Larry for everything that they do for you. I really do appreciate everybody who's at home watching, but I'm not a microphone person, so I'm trying my best not to run around the stage here. To the newly certified, LIUNA Training has thrust upon you tonight an awesome responsibility. And as with every certified instructor, you carry the weight of excellence. As Bernadette said, you join an elite group of laborers to hold the ANAB accreditation and can call themselves LIUNA Training Certified Instructors. But I've been thinking about this year after year, and I know all too well human nature would tell us that some people take this certification for granted. Or simply think this is nothing more than words in a speech. So let me provide some perspective on what it means when I say they are an elite group. So you need to take a moment and you need to visualize the entire United States and Canada. Get that in your head. Think about that. Now think of the union building trades and their local affiliates across both countries. Think of their trade instructors in every state and every province. Now, yes, add the non-union trade instructors, private and for-profit training organizations. Then add every high school shop instructor, VOTEC, CTE trade person. Add the universities, the colleges, and the community colleges. And not one holds the ANAB certification. Think about that. Not one holds this certification. So tonight, each of you carry the weight of a program that truly is one of a kind. And it is up to you, as we talked about earlier, to uphold the tenets of your certification. But honestly, to me, here's what's next should really float your boat. Now, for many of you walking this stage, there will be this feeling of a weight being lifted. So, of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you it should be the opposite. As masters of your craft, of becoming certified, this is just the beginning. You now carry the weight of union contractors who are up against it every day, union employers who must fight against low-wage, unsafe bottom-line contractors. You are the reason union contractors support training, because they know quality is the difference maker. As certified instructors, you share the weight of this international and with every local in every region. Union leaders who are up against it every day, fighting for the rights of every laborer while working to create new jobs and grow the ranks of LIUNA. As certified instructors, you are the reason organizers, political staff, training and apprenticeship directors, lesson and health and safety reps, all point to training and promote it as one of the many benefits of LIUNA. And here's what gets even better. As a certified instructor, you have face-to-face responsibility to every LIUNA apprentice and every LIUNA journey worker who walks into your classroom. Over 200,000 laborers enter our North American training centers every year, and there you stand, the industry's best instructors. You are the face that greets them, you are the voice that educates them, and you are the hands that train them. And tonight, I want every member of LIUNA to know the benefit of union training and of this instructor conference and this certification. So if you're an apprentice just starting out, or a journey worker gaining new skills, your LIUNA training certified instructors got you covered. If you need a certification to secure a job, a license to perform work, your instructor has the knowledge. If the industry changes and technology advances, there is no need to worry. Your LIUNA instructor is ready and already ahead of the curve. If your local union or contractor sees your potential to be a foreman, site safety officer, or a superintendent, your local training fund instructor is there to give you a leg up. They are armed with the strength to ensure you climb the ladder of success. You know, Larry mentioned my 46 years as a member of this union. And training has been the one constant in those 46 years. Regardless of the changing landscapes and skylines across the U.S. and Canada, training remains a steady beacon of hope as we build and rebuild two countries. When demolition, remediation, and removal is needed, training has made the way for cleaner lands, cleaner water, and safer places to work and play. And when disaster strikes and buildings fall and homes are lost, and hope hangs on a thread, a union-trained, union-skilled workforce will be the light to recovery. And if you graduates are wondering why I know this, well, that's easy. Because I know each of you. From the first day you got your jobs and came here. In fact, I thought about it, at least since the certification over the last 22 years, I have had the pleasure of greeting every new instructor on the day they started their journey to certification. And I have had the honor of shaking the hand of every certified instructor to cross this stage. I have often said when my time is done, when I can no longer offer that hand, receive a hug on the stage, if I am remembered at all, it is here at this event, the annual instructor conference, to which I want to be remembered. So tonight, to the over 400 in attendance and the 1,000 watching at home, I stand here with pride and joy in my heart. I welcome tonight's honorees not only because of their accomplishments, because of their impact they will have on contractors, on our union, and on every laborer who walks into their classrooms. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you all for coming.
Where's he going? So the moment that we've all been waiting for, we will now commence with the graduation proceedings. Each graduate has met the criteria prescribed by the accrediting body, and it is now my honor and privilege to present them to you. From the Chicago Land Laborers District Council Training and Apprenticeship Fund, Kyle Adams, Daisy Andre, Joseph Battaglia, Joseph Finley, Jeffrey Pamalis, Patrick Shippers. From the Construction and Specialized Workers Training Society in Vancouver, British Columbia, Alan Hansky and Andy Smith. From the Construction Laborers and Contractors Training Fund of Eastern Missouri, Chad Francois and Bert Henke. From the Indiana Laborers Training Trust Fund, Isaac Durrell, Richard Green, and Roger Henson.
Feel the power.
Woo. From the Iowa Laborers Education and Training Fund, Drew Caulfield. From the Kentucky Laborers Joint Apprenticeship and Training Trust Fund, Alexander Porter. From the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and Vicinity Education and Training and Apprenticeship Fund, Sean Simon. From the Laborers Training and Retraining Trust Fund of Southern California, Daniel Herrera, Peter Noriega, Andy Suarez, Michael Tuttle. I did. They started clapping for Daniel.
Yeah, they're clapping for Daniel. So loud.
Okay, so we're going to ask that you not clap until the entire roster from that training fund is announced so that everybody can hear the names. From the Laborers Training Trust Fund of Northern Nevada, Ruben Banuelos. From Laborers Local 1089 Training Fund of Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, Aldo Roca. From LIUNA Local 183 Training Fund in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Tiago Barcelos and Joe Moderera. From LIUNA Local 506 Training Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Joe Pitasio. From LIUNA Training and Education Fund, Justin LeConche and Brandon Oxley. From LIUNA Training of Michigan, Antonio Calzada. From Local 172 Safety Education and Training Fund of New Jersey, Howard Tomlin. From the Mason Tenders Training Center, Robert Tchaikovsky. From the New England Laborers Training Trust Fund, A.J. Pathick, Michael Capabianco, Andy Kuzmich. From the Northwest Laborers Employers Training Trust Fund, Adrian Aguilar, Rory Chessing, Shawnee Fitzpatrick, Brandon Morris, Shannon Williams. Congratulations, be careful.
Brandon,
Hold the rail.
get some resumes, Brandon.
From the Ohio Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Trust Fund, Kyle Hughes. From the Safety, Education and Training Fund, Local 472 of New Jersey, Sergio Da Silva and Joseph Skirbo III. From the Southeast Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Fund, Christopher Brown. From Southern Nevada Laborers Training Fund, Local 872, Luis Licera. From Upstate New York Laborers Education and Training Fund, Charles Hollister. And from the Western Pennsylvania Laborers Education and Training Trust Fund, Eric Bevilacqua, James McGuire, and Tyler Schuler. Let's have a round of applause for all of our graduates.
Last year, we showed a video. When I think of Keith and I think of Mark from Pennsylvania, and everybody was here at the beginning, I made a promise to everybody that if you trusted in the process, that there would be a progression that we haven't seen before in all the years that we've been doing instructor training. So we did our video last year, and we have a new video this year, and we'll keep those videos coming for every certified instructor who climbs the ladder within this international union. What do they say, Josh? Roll it.
My name's Olivia D'Aquila, currently in year 2 at the AIC. One of the key moments that made me make the switch from being in the field to becoming an instructor was definitely, I feel like I can reach out to people more as a trainer, you know, getting in touch with more of our members on how to work safely and go home to their families at the end of the day. Something that I took from the AIC is definitely to reflect on myself, how the lesson went, how to improve myself, some mistakes that I made or something that I can change to do better.
My name's Shakur Presley. I'm a year 2 student, so I'm really excited to be here. Taking a lot of tips and the tricks from AIC and then bringing it back to my home fund, that really has helped out a lot. Yeah, the facilitators, not just my classroom personally, but they're all great. They all want to help you. They even stop you in the hallway, right? Hey, what year are you? Do you need help? If you do, you know where to find me. So that experience alone has been great.
name is Stephen Hope, 18 years as an instructor. That was one thing I told myself, I go, you know, someday I would love to be able to become an instructor. But I knew it wouldn't be easy. I know you would have to put the hard work in. You learn a lot from the LIUNA staff and how important it is to not stay stagnant. So all the new instructors coming in, keep it simple. Don't worry about making mistakes, because that's the only way we're gonna get better.
Every once in a while, there's a little bump. So that was the year-ending, the week-ending video. Do we have the other video up now, Josh? All right, play it. Here we go. One more, and then we're ready to eat. Ba. In the car. In Harvard Yard. IT. Where's Terry Healy? You were right.
From day one to walking across the stage was a journey for me.
A mix of emotions, but overall, the excitement really kind of took over.
There was a lot of people. It was much bigger than I thought. Although I was warned, it still was overwhelming.
I was really looking forward to learn the things that I was told that I was going to be getting out of AIC. So
This is for my wife, for my children back home, as much as it is for me, as much as it is for all my members.
It was just building up on each year and adding to your certifications and your knowledge.
And seeing the attitudes change and seeing how excited a guy that may have been tying rebar on a bridge a month ago to 2 years later actually talking like a full-blown academia person.
I really liked the clear structure of the process, that everything was kind of black and white, so that everything was laid out.
It gave me a technical name to the things that I was doing in the classroom.
the fact that we were able to interact with different instructors, going through the same process. So that's one thing that I definitely enjoyed about that.
Something that really took me by surprise was the amount of people that were dedicated to best practice teaching.
I spent 180 grand on my education, where all these guys are getting it for free. So I love that fact, that it's a way that we could take these very intelligent, hardworking people in our network and give them something that society told them that they weren't worthy of.
You use those different components because not everybody learns the same, so you learn to adapt.
One of the hardest things to overcome during the process of becoming certified was the ego. I realized that I wasn't innovative.
There was expectations, not just for the content I taught, but also for how I taught the program.
The biggest thing to overcome probably was myself. Self-doubt or just being exhausted or those kinds of struggles, right? So that like push through when you think you're too tired at the AIC, those kinds of things.
I would have missed that whole track if I wouldn't have been able to leave all the personal stuff and focus what I needed to put my focus at.
I had to personally overcome my fear. Fear of not knowing, fear of not doing well, the fear of not being good enough.
One thing John said to me was, AIC may seem hard, but that's because you care.
You know, he was really encouraging us to not worry about what the mopes or the negative people were saying.
One theme that was extremely inspiring that I was able to take back with me and apply like after the AIC was the theme of leadership being a choice. So I was really able to like take that to heart and everything that he said along with that and make some actually changes.
There's three important men in my life, my father, my grandfather, and John is somebody that I would like to think that you know, I can live up to that standard. When I look at myself as a human being,
as a father, as a husband, as a union member.
If you're getting ready to get started, my advice would be to trust in yourself that you can do this.
Don't give up. No matter if you're tired, no matter if you have to retake something or redo something.
Put the work in. Don't half-ass it. And it doesn't matter what the other instructors tell you at your training school. Maybe even the training director says to you. Work the process.
And definitely don't be a mope.
My name is Tabitha Stambaugh, and I'm currently a field representative for LIUNA Local 477 in Springfield, Illinois.
My name is Erica Holmberg, and my current position is Instructional Coordinator at LIUNA Training and Education Fund.
My name is Andrew Duarte. I'm the training coordinator at LIUNA Local 1059, London, Ontario.
I'm Joel DeBond. I am grants coordinator here at LIUNA Training.
My name is Jason McDonald. I'm a certified instructor, and currently I am the Baltimore Washington Laborers Training Fund Executive Director.
Nice job, Josh. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching at home. Let's party. Enjoy.
Open the bars.